So this is what I survived on in the Prius, and what I liked about it is when the ice melted a little bit, I could just open that little nozzle and drain out the fluids. And how I would use it is I would put ice on the bottom, my food in the middle, and ice on top. And I would just take my cup at Panera and refill ice, or Sam's Club, or wherever they have drinks.
Well, hello there. Mom Terry here, along with Miss Lucy, and we're at our favorite place, Panera Breads, once again. And today I wanted to talk to you about, yesterday we did a video on how to insulate your refrigerator, but do you really need a refrigerator? So that's the question. Now I'm going to stop it right here and show you what I did for a year and a half in the Prius. Now, when I had my second Prius, Starlight, I was watching Pam on the Lamb, and Pam on the Lamb got a RAV4, and she got the Alpacool and a battery to keep it charged up and everything. And the difference between the RAV4 and the Prius is if I had the RAV4, I could use the super duper uh, cable, the fast charging cable. But because the Prius had lower amperage when you plug into your 12 volt, I could only use the slower one. So the difference was, if I had the RAV4, I could have charged my battery in 3 hours, but with the Prius, it would take 8 hours. So I decided to ditch that refrigerator for the nice little Coleman ice thing that you saw right there. All right, can you live without a fridge? You can live happily without a refrigerator, and I'll show you some things on how to do stuff. I gave up on the Prius, having that fridge going. Now, there's a huge downside to refrigerators. There's a huge downside to ice chests. Refrigerators are high maintenance. Mine, I don't know why. Bob did a giveaway on 3 Alpacools, and they were supposed to get back with him, but mine needs defrosted at least once a month. I don't know why, but it does. So constant maintenance, battery check-in, you have to defrost it. It is expensive. I mean, even though the cooler costs less than $300, I needed a solar panel put on my van. I needed a huge battery, so that got kind of pricey. And then I'm always trying to keep the vehicle cool because, today it's going to get up into the 90s while the van's going to be parked in the shade. Because if the interior of my van gets up to the 90s, my battery has to run continuously because the compressor's running continuously to keep everything cold. So what can you do if you don't want to have a refrigerator? Okay, so let's say I'm out to lunch, right? And I have a burrito, and I can only eat half the burrito. All right, so I'm at Panera Breads, early in the morning I do this. I get a whole cup of ice. But in the little Coleman cooler, I put my ice. And then when it's lunchtime, I take out half the ice, put the burrito in, and put more ice on top. And that'll keep the burrito, because it's super insulated and I put my blankets on and everything, it'll keep it till dinner time. And actually I've had, because at nighttime it gets cool, it'll keep it going to the next night. And, sometimes I'm in places like Sam's Club, they have a, hot dog and a soda, and I get ice. So I'm always in a store to where ice is readily available. And keeping a small little cooler like that going is wonderful. Like I said, I use it a lot for leftovers. How I got into not using a refrigerator, if you go to Sue Ann online, she has a lot of what she does, what kind of foods she stocks up on, from dehydrated milk to dehydrated vegetables. A lot of Walmarts have those big cans, which I showed before, of dehydrated vegetables, dehydrated potatoes, dehydrated cheese, powdered milk. All that's available at a lot of these Walmarts, especially where hunting is. So you got to look for that. Eggs don't need to be refrigerated, and there's a ton of videos on that. I have never eaten non-refrigerated eggs. I've heard that if you buy them unrefrigerated at first, that's the correct kind of egg, but then you have to turn them. I'm like, I don't need eggs that much. What I do is, sometimes I'm camping at Walmart. First thing I do in the morning is I go into Walmart, and they have like 2 hard-boiled eggs. I might get that, a yogurt, a piece of fruit for breakfast, and then for lunch I'll pick up a TV dinner. They got a lot of great TV dinners, but they're frozen. Well, it's 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. It'll defrost in my van by about 10, 11 o'clock, and then I'll just put it in my little Hot Logic and cook it for an hour, and it'll be a great lunch. So, now I got breakfast and lunch out of the way. Some people say, well, you need a fridge because you need mayonnaise, you need, all your condiments and everything. Everything needs to be refrigerated. Well, you're right, but I don't do a lot of fast food a lot. I mean, this morning I had Panera Breads because I'm on the subscription program for my coffee, $8.99 a month. And my son's going to Mexico today with the family. And, when he was a kid growing up, we'd go to IHOP and have chocolate chip pancakes. Well, in order to feel close to him, I had the chocolate chip bagel for breakfast. Not a good thing, but, but I just did this to show you, but they have ketchup, they have mayo, they have mustard, they have Tabasco, but it's everywhere I go. Like when I go to Love's Truck Stop, I buy me and Lucy, she gets the cheeseburger. She doesn't get the bun, she doesn't get anything, but they have a relish packet. I may pick up a relish packet or two and keep it with my stock goods. They have sweet and sour sauce. When I go to Panda Express, I ask for extra soy sauce and the hot mustard. The hot mustard works good in cup of soups. It really does. So one of the questions is why would you want a fridge? Especially if it's such a pain in the butt. Well, Miss Lucy is high maintenance. I went to Sam's Club and I got a bunch of chicken for $3.50. It was like the leg and the thigh. $3.50 for like 2 pounds. It was great. I guess it was a bunch of leftovers. So, she has a huge bag in the fridge. But some people have medications that have to keep cold and it has to be kept at a specific temperature. I know a lot of guys like cold beer, so that's another thing about that. So, instead of fast food, let me suggest some things that are really quick to make and, don't need refrigerated. So, they have grits. You can have some quick oatmeal with cranberries and walnuts in it. You can get dry milk for smoothies, pancakes, waffles. I'm not big into the waffles. The cream of wheat I love. Granola, fruit, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's great. Like I said, over at Walmart, it's a little package. It looks like frozen food, but it's not. It's Dinty Moore. And, sometimes it's spaghetti and meatballs. Sometimes it's turkey with stuffing and mashed potatoes. They're $2. They don't need refrigerated. And, I stack a few of them up. And they're good TV dinners. And, I love my canned soup. Even though it is heavy to carry around a bunch of soup, when I find the good brand for $1 a can, I stock up on them. And sometimes I'll go into Walmart at night, and I say, I just want a quarter pound of lunch meat, nothing over that, because my dog can't eat that much. So, they'll carefully measure out a quarter pound. I know if you just go in and say, I'd like a quarter pound of turkey, you get a half a pound, and it's like, no. Or I tell my refrigerator went out. All right, so those are just a couple of suggestions of what you can do if you don't have a refrigerator. Like I said, I survived for 1.5 years, and I enjoy, like Panera Bread. I enjoy doing things like this. It makes me feel like I'm at home. All right, I will see you down the road. I hope I helped you decide on whether or not you want a refrigerator. And my feelings is try life without a refrigerator before you invest all the money in a refrigerator. All right, see you guys down the road. I thought I'd add on how I put my food in the little Coleman chest, because a lot of people say, oh, the ice is going to melt and then your food in the baggie's going to float all around. I'll show you how to get around that. Or I had a big enough container that, Talente, it's wonderful ice cream. It has a screw-on cap and it's small and it's plastic. Well, that's what I would do. I would put the ice on the bottom, the Talente container, and then ice on top, and no water ever got in. But let's just say this is your baggie, this is your burrito. It's my business cards, but it's my burrito. All right, so you put in your burrito like that, and I would have a longer bag. Ice on the bottom, put this here, I would tie it, ice on top, and then this, when I screwed on the lid, this would hang out. So it could float all the way around in the ice. All right? And if you have any more questions, just, write it in the comment below, and please like and share if you feel like it. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday morning.